In today's video, we're going to be talking about money and which things keep us broke. Money is a tool. We have three things we can do with that tool. We can spend it, we can save it, or we can invest it. Every time we spend money on things that don't build our wealth, we push financial freedom further and further away from us. Every time we spend money on a pair of Jordans, guess who is getting rich? MJ. Now I love MJ, the greatest of all time. But Michael Jordan is already a billionaire. And a lot of us who are buying Jordan sneakers are not billionaires. We're not even millionaires. So what I'm telling you guys is, watch where you spend your money. Some of us like clothes. Gucci, Prada, whatever the latest thing is. We go to work, we work our butts off, we get this paycheck, and the first thing we concentrate on is making somebody else rich. Every time you spend $1 on things that do not build wealth for you, you're building wealth for someone else. Let's take this example. Say you want a new car. You've done well, good job, making good income. You want to reward yourself. So you go out and buy yourself a new car. $350 a month payment. Let's analyze that a little bit. If I were to delay gratification and not go buy a new car with a $350 payment, let's say I paid for a car in cash. I took $7 grand. I went and found me a nice, newer model, dependable car to get around in, to get me from point A to point B. And I decided to take the $350 that I was going to spend on a new car and instead build wealth with it. I take the $350 and I put it in an S&P 500 index fund with a 8% return. Over a 10-year period, that $350 a month investment would turn itself into $63,000. Over the next 20 years, would turn itself into $196,000. The point is, guys, if we would take our money and we would invest it for our future and not for the future of Mercedes or BMW or Audi, but we would invest it in our future, we could build wealth and be financially free. So be careful what you do with that money or that tool. Spend it, save it, or invest it. Let's decide you want to save it. So you take your money, you put it in the bank. Saving money, guys, is not going to make you wealthy. It's not going to create financial freedom for you. Now, there's a reason to save. You know, you save money for your emergency fund, 3 to 6 months, even 12 months, so that if you do hit a bump in the road, you have enough money from 3 to 12 months to ride the wave until you can get yourself back on your feet. That's what saving should be for. Or if you want to buy a new home and you want to save up some money for your down payment, that's what saving is for. Short-term goals that you want to meet through saving. The reason long-term wealth is important because it creates money for you when you no longer can go out and create it for yourself, or you no longer want to go out and create it for yourself. Wealth, your net worth, will continue to create money for you. Savings won't do that. Reason being is most banks are not even paying you 0.50% on your money market or your savings account. So therefore, if you got $100,000 in a savings account, you're earning nothing. It's not creating any additional money for you. So if you were to take $1,000 a month, eventually you would run out. The bank is not going to pay you enough interest for it to compound and build on top of itself and create more wealth. Whereas with investing, the third thing you can use money for, it will. You can take money every single month and put it in an S&P 500 index fund or ETF with an 8 to 10% historical return on investment. And that over time will compound in the stock market and build more wealth for you. The next time you want to buy something, think about, who am I making rich? Who am I making wealthy? Am I building financial freedom for myself? Ask yourself that question. And if it's no, redirect those dollars to build wealth for you and your family. What I'm telling you today, I actually did. When I bought my Ferrari 458, when I bought my Porsche 911 GT3, and all the other luxury cars that I've owned, I didn't buy any of those cars until I had built a certain amount of wealth that would actually pay for my cars. That's the difference. You start buying things, luxury items and things like that when you get to a point where you've built enough wealth that your wealth will actually pay for those things. But until then, take that money and invest it in assets that build wealth. Investments like real estate, investments like the stock market through index funds and ETFs, investments like a business. If you have a great skill set, a great idea, you can solve problems for people with your product or service, and you want to invest money in that business to grow it and scale it, do that. But them Jordans you're buying, you're not building wealth for yourself. They may look great on your feet, but you're not building any wealth. Be a good steward of your money. Invest it in you. Invest it in your future. If you do that, guys, the world is yours. You can have anything you want. Let's make sure, if we are going to use money as a tool, we use it to build wealth for ourselves. Not for Gucci, not for Prada, not for Louis, not for Jordans, not for Mercedes, BMW, none of those guys. Let's take that money, let's put it in smart investments that are gonna grow over time for us. And then once we get to the enjoyment stage of wealth, if we wanna splurge and do some nice things for ourselves and buy some luxury items, then that's the time to do it, because your wealth will pay for it.